Like that. All right.
Between December 2007 and November 2009, the Dyslexia Outreach Project has worked with 98 people with dyslexia across East Manchester.
Hello, all of you listeners. Today, a group of us talked about our strengths in dyslexia. My name is Danielle, and I'm very good at reading, being on time, good at cooking, good at listening, good at talking, and good at painting.
The word dyslexia comes from the Greek and means difficulty with words. Dyslexia is defined by the British Dyslexia Association as a specific learning difficulty which mainly affects the development of literacy and language-related skills. 4% of the population is thought to be severely affected, and 10% is affected to some degree. Dyslexia is a syndrome, and people are affected in different ways. Some people may experience difficulties with reading, writing and spelling, and may also struggle with organisational and time management skills. Some people have difficulty with sequencing and with organising their thoughts clearly. At the same time, dyslexic people are often very creative and innovative and have good problem-solving skills. The East Manchester Dyslexia Outreach Project focuses mainly on unemployed residents who are not currently in education or training. It offers residents the opportunity to receive one-to-one diagnostic assessments and dyslexia support, and the opportunity to engage in one-day courses in confidence building or a range of vocational subjects.
Right, I've been asked here today to talk about dyslexia, but more importantly, how my life's changed since I was identified. And I like the word identified. Some people use the word diagnosed. And at the end of the day, you diagnose these, and dyslexia isn't a disease. The problem is that I don't really know much about it because I've only been dyslexic for about 3 months. So how can I talk about how my life's changed? I suppose, look, once you're identified, you can put a name to it, a tag to it. And you can have an understanding why. Because you think on the right-hand side of your brain, do you think differently from the majority of people who think on the left-hand side of the brain? And I think, in a way, you start to have a greater understanding that there's nothing wrong with you. You just think outside the box, whereas other people don't think outside of the box. They actually remain in there. And you get more creative, and you realise that it's not a problem. It's not a disease. You're not thick. You're not stupid. You just think differently. So if there's some areas you're not particularly good at, you can say, I accept that I'm not particularly good at them. So once I was actually identified, it was a relief to realise that I'm not the black sheep of the family. And maybe there are areas I'm not fantastic at, but it doesn't stop you trying, and it doesn't stop you trying to be good at it. But then, on the other hand, you realise you've got a lot of strengths that you can really work on. I think the most important thing for me is that I just wished I would actually been identified 55 years earlier, because then all through my life I could have probably had some support or asked for help when it needed.
The project held a number of dyslexic-friendly workshops. The digital photography workshop used photography to represent difficulties with the everyday written word.
Finding out I was dyslexic has been a huge help. And I feel that it's helped me in a way that it's made me see things a bit more clearly and not be too much ashamed of the things that I am actually doing and the way that I do them. I was going to a workshop, and meeting other people has been a good inspiration as opposed to the way I feel and think, is, you know, because these people have been and gone and going through the same things that I have done. I did like a photo shoot, so that's like a thing where I was behind this like cage, and this is how I felt as I was growing up, that people was not listening to the way, you know, to the way that I was thinking and feeling. You know, I was being labelled as, you know, the fool, the class clown, that type of thing. So I think this photo that we did at this workshop was a representation of that, of other people on the outside and the inside not being seen and not listening, not seen, and people not listening to you.
As dyslexics are often naturally creative, a batik workshop was held to give an introduction to the art of decorating cloth using wax and dye. People said that they thought it would be like school, but it wasn't. They said they enjoyed the freedom of doing what they wanted to do and not having someone looking over their shoulder during the class. Frequent requests were made for workshops developing practical skills, so we held workshops such as tiling, plumbing and carpentry. These workshops offered different things to different people. Some people wanted to continue to develop these skills on a 15-week college course, but because of their severe dyslexia were unable to meet the requirement levels of literacy to be accepted onto the course. But nevertheless, everybody that attended the construction workshops found the atmosphere more relaxing than they had expected and really enjoyed learning the new skills. Other workshops were held in confidence building, self-image and digital media. But hopefully this will give you an idea of what we've been up to since December 2007.